Co-locations. In New York City, the situation of co-locations between charter schools and district schools is tearing our communities apart. It is pitting parents of color against each other, and it has to stop. It must stop. Charter parents need to remember, we need to remember that the only reason why we are charter parents is because the district schools are failing. That is the reason why we are charter parents. And we need to not forget about that 97%, that 1.1 million students in the district school system. It takes a village to raise a child. And the co-locations right now of putting us against each other, we're failing by us fighting each other. We're not going to the reason. We need to go to the DOE, and we need to say to the DOE that we will no longer fight each other. We need a new chancellor. I wish we could say we could get a new mayor, but we need a new chancellor. We need someone who will be held accountable for the failure of the district school system. There's something very wrong here. Accountability and transparency. I don't even know where to start. Everybody saw the daily news today. I have a fellow parent here from East New York Prep. Everybody's heard about East New York Prep. Charter school board members and employees must be held to rigorous financial disclosure requirements and conflicts of interest prohibitions as all other organizations receiving public money. There needs to be more transparency so that we don't have situations like Merrick where the principal hired her daughter-in-law's firm to do the cleaning, where we don't have situations where school founders are renting the space from their husbands and the charter school is paying for it. All of that is unacceptable. That must change. We need all charter school board members and employees to be held to disclose any and all conflicts of interest. Charter contracts and bylaws. Again, 99% of the parents out there, and I'm sure many of you in here did not know before exactly what a charter is. And that charter application that becomes that charter contract needs to be made readily accessible to all charter parents. And at this point in time, it's not. We are requesting that all charter schools post their charter and their bylaws online, just as the PEP posts its bylaws and its minutes online. We don't see why charter schools cannot be transparent and post that information online so that their parents know what they can hold their school accountable for. State receivership. What does one do when a charter school's board of trustees are incompetent? Should our children suffer, as is the case of East New York Prep? Is that fair? New York Charter Parents Association is asking that the state have the authority to take over a charter school and reconstitute the board of trustees so that if a principal is corrupt and the board is incompetent and does not govern a charter school the way they're supposed to, that our children do not pay the price for that. Management organizations. For-profit management organizations must not be allowed to manage charters. Public money should be spent on public students. The complaints and the grievance process. We are asking that the state, that the Board of Regents develop a formal complaint and grievance process and streamline the process, that it doesn't matter what school your child attends and who your authorizer is, that there is a one-stop shop grievance process, and that is the Board of Regents. Teacher rights and protections. We send our kids to school every day. We entrust our teachers to educate and take care of our children. In charter schools, most recently, East New York Prep as an example, teachers who spoke up and spoke out for those children who were expelled and pushed out of that charter school were fired. That is unacceptable. We trust the teachers with our children. And if there is something going wrong in my daughter's charter school, I want the teachers to stand up and fight for what's in the best interest of my child. They should not be penalized. They should not be fired for standing up for our children. Last but not least, charter authorization. The New York Charter Parents Association believes that the Board of Regents should be the only authorizer for charter schools in New York State. We do not support the New York City Department of Education as an authorizer because we do not feel they provide enough oversight. I can cite my experiences with the Department of Education, who is my school's authorizer, as well as countless other parents who have gone to the Department of Education when they had issues with their school, when the schools were pushing out their kids who were special ed and ELL, and the Department of Education Office of Charter Schools did nothing, and they did not tell the parents that, you know what, do you have a copy of your charter? Do you know if it's a violation of your charter? They did not do a thing. It is for that reason why we believe the Board of Regents should be the only authorizer of charter schools. Again, Senator Perkins, I want to thank you for having this hearing, for convening this hearing. No system is perfect, and in the 10 years that charter schools have been in existence, it's about time that they start to be held accountable and that they be transparent and that parents have a greater voice in charter schools. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I want to just be clear that this opportunity to hear more about what's going on with the charter industry and the charter movement, I have to give credit to the New York Charter Parents Association for reaching out to our office and letting us know that they had some concerns that they wanted to have aired. And so thank you so much for your testimony and for reaching out to those of us